Western homes have been built roughly the same way for decades. Japan looked at that blueprint and quietly improved almost every part of it. Bathtubs with double insulated walls that keep the water hot for hours without reheating. Filtered drinking water flowing from a dedicated tap built directly into the kitchen sink. And motorized shutters that close over every window at the press of a button, sealing the home from storms, light, and intruders in one move. These aren't luxury additions. They're standard features of Japanese home design that the rest of the world simply hasn't caught up with yet. Today, we're counting down 25 things Japanese homes do better than the West. Watch until the end because number 25, Japan's prefabricated home construction, completely flips everything you think you know about what a prefab home actually is. Number 1. The separate toilet room. In a Western bathroom, the toilet and the bathing area share one room, which means when someone is in the shower, nobody else can use the toilet. When the bath is running, the bathroom is occupied. One room, one user at a time, for two completely separate functions that don't need to be in the same space at all. Japanese homes separate them entirely. The toilet has its own small dedicated room. The bathroom, with the shower area and bathtub, has a separate one. Both can be used simultaneously by different people without any conflict. It's one of the most practical layout decisions in residential design, and once you've lived with it, the combined Western bathroom starts to feel like an obvious planning oversight. In a home with multiple people moving through morning routines at the same time, having two rooms instead of one changes the entire dynamic of how the household functions before anyone leaves the house. Number 2. Insulated deep soak bathtubs. A standard Western bathtub starts losing heat the moment you fill it. Within 10 or 15 minutes, the water has cooled noticeably, and by the time you've properly relaxed, it's borderline cold. You either get out earlier than you wanted to, or run more hot water and waste it. Japanese bathtubs are manufactured with double-walled insulated construction that holds water temperature for significantly longer. The inner and outer walls trap air between them, acting as insulation that dramatically slows heat loss. Some models retain heat for several hours. Combined with a deeper, narrower design that keeps your body fully submerged with less exposed water surface, a Japanese bath stays warm through the full duration of a soak without reheating. Western tubs are built to hold water. Japanese tubs are built to hold heat. That one difference is the reason the bath in Japan is treated as genuine relaxation rather than a race against cooling water. Number 3. Automatic gas safety shutoff. A gas leak during an earthquake is one of the most dangerous combinations in any home. The structural shaking that could damage gas lines happens at exactly the same moment the gas supply is most at risk of igniting something. Japan addresses this with an automatic gas shutoff valve fitted to the home's gas supply. When seismic sensors detect tremors above a set threshold, or when abnormal pressure is detected in the gas line, the valve closes automatically and cuts the supply before anything has the chance to ignite. This is a standard installation in Japanese homes, required as part of building and safety practice in a country where earthquakes are a routine part of daily life rather than rare events. Western homes in seismically active areas rarely include automatic gas shutoff as a standard feature, which means the gas stays on through every tremor until someone manually turns it off. In Japan, that risk is removed before the shaking stops. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's clever, everyday innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones are even smarter. Number 4. Dual flush toilet systems. Every time you flush a full tank of water to clear liquid waste, you're using significantly more water than the job actually requires. It's a straightforward inefficiency that happens multiple times a day in every household, adding up to thousands of unnecessary liters over the course of a year. Japan introduced the dual flush toilet decades before it became common elsewhere. A small button or half press triggers a reduced flush for liquid waste. A full press releases the complete tank for solid waste. You use the amount of water the job actually needs and nothing more. The system has been standard in Japanese homes for long enough that an entire generation has grown up never knowing anything different. Western adoption has been slow and uneven. Many homes in the US and elsewhere still operate on a single full flush for everything, with no option to reduce it. It's one of the simplest water-saving improvements available to any home, and Japan made it standard before most countries made it optional. Number 5. Built-in water purifier taps. Most Western homes handle drinking water one of two ways. Either you drink straight from the tap and accept whatever is in it, or you run it through a pitcher filter that sits on the counter, needs regular cartridge replacement, and never quite keeps up with daily demand. Japanese kitchens frequently take a third approach. A dedicated filtered water tap is built directly into the sink unit, fed by an under-sink filtration system from brands including Clean Sui and Panasonic. Clean filtered water is available instantly from a separate tap without any counter space used, without any pitcher to refill, and without cartridges running out at inconvenient times. The filter is out of sight, the tap is integrated into the sink design, and the water is ready whenever you need it. It's a cleaner, faster, and more consistent solution to daily drinking water than a pitcher filter on a counter or trusting whatever comes out of the main tap unfiltered. Number 6. Video intercom door systems. The standard Western approach to someone knocking at the door is to walk to it, open it, and find out who's there. Or look through a peephole that distorts whoever is standing outside into an almost unidentifiable fisheye image that tells you very little about whether you actually want to open it. Japanese homes install video intercom systems as a standard feature. A camera and speaker unit at the front door connects to a screen inside the home. When someone arrives, you see them clearly on the screen and speak with them before deciding whether to open the door at all. You can be anywhere in the house and still see and communicate with whoever is at the entrance. For deliveries, unexpected visitors, or anyone arriving when you're not expecting company, the difference between a peephole and a live video feed is significant. Western homes are slowly adopting smart doorbells as an add-on. Japan installed the camera at the door before the smart doorbell became a product category. Number 7. Sealed waterproof bathroom units. Western bathrooms are built in place by tradespeople working on site. Tiles are laid, grout is applied, sealant goes around the edges of the bath and shower, and everything is waterproofed as well as the workmanship on that particular day allows. Over time, grout cracks, sealant degrades, and water finds its way into the wall structure behind the tiles, causing damage that often isn't visible until it's significant. Japanese bathrooms are installed as factory-manufactured unit bath systems by companies including Toto, Lixil, and Panasonic. A pre-formed waterproof tray, interlocking wall panels, and a ceiling arrive as a complete kit and assemble on site as a fully sealed module. There are no grout lines for water to penetrate and no sealant that degrades over time. The waterproofing is built into the structure of the unit rather than applied afterward by hand. It's a fundamentally more reliable approach to keeping water where it belongs, and Japanese homes have been doing it this way for decades. Number 8. Mini-split air conditioning. Window air conditioners are loud, inefficient, block natural light, and do one thing. They cool the room they're in while the unit hangs out of the window, looking exactly like what it is. Ducted central air is quieter but expensive to install, expensive to run, and heats or cools the entire home, whether every room needs it or not. Japan uses mini-split heat pump systems from manufacturers including Daikin, Mitsubishi, and Fujitsu as the standard home climate solution. A slim wall-mounted indoor unit connects to a small outdoor compressor. It heats and cools, controls humidity precisely, operates near silently, and conditions only the rooms that need it. Running costs are significantly lower than either window units or ducted systems because heat pumps move energy rather than generate it. The US in particular still defaults to window units in apartments and older homes. Japan moved past that solution a long time ago and built something quieter, smarter, and more efficient in its place. Number 9. Filter-free range hoods. The standard kitchen range hood in most Western homes works by pulling cooking air through a grease filter, either a disposable paper type or a washable mesh, that catches particles before they enter the fan housing. Over time, that filter clogs, cooking smells linger, and cleaning the mesh involves removing it, soaking it, scrubbing it, and reinstalling it. It's a maintenance task most people don't do often enough. Japanese range hoods use a filterless centrifugal system instead. Air is spun at high speed. Grease particles are thrown outward by centrifugal force and collected in a small removable tray at the base of the unit. No filter to replace, no mesh to scrub, no grease building up inside the fan housing. The tray comes out, gets rinsed, and goes back in. The inside of the unit stays clean because the grease never gets that far. It's a better system that produces less maintenance and better performance, and it's standard in Japanese kitchen design. Number 10. Seismic isolation systems. In most countries, a building's earthquake resistance comes from how rigidly it's built. The stronger and stiffer the structure, the better it's assumed to survive seismic forces. Japan takes a fundamentally different approach in many of its residential builds. Seismic isolation systems place rubber base isolators and internal vibration dampers between the home's structure and the ground beneath it. When an earthquake hits, the ground moves, but the building moves independently, absorbing and dissipating seismic energy before it reaches the walls, floors, and frame of the home. Japanese home builders, including Sekisui House and Daiwa House, have integrated these systems into residential construction at a level that exceeds building codes in most Western countries. Japan doesn't just build homes to withstand earthquakes, it builds homes that move with them intelligently, which turns out to be a very different and considerably more effective approach. Number 11. Retractable insect screens. Most Western window screens are rigid frames that clip into the window opening. They fit imperfectly, rattle in the wind, are difficult to remove and reinstall for cleaning, and frequently get left off entirely because dealing with them is more trouble than the occasional mosquito. Sliding door screens fare even worse, warping over time and developing gaps that defeat their entire purpose. Japanese homes fit retractable insect screens to all windows and sliding doors as part of the window installation. The screen pulls smoothly across the opening when needed and retracts into a slim housing flush with the frame when it isn't. It seals properly across the full opening with no gaps and no rattling. When you want the window open and the insects out, you pull it across. When you close the window, it retracts out of the way. It's a better mechanism for a problem every home deals with in warmer months, and it's built into the window rather than added as an afterthought. Number 12. Inner window insulation. Double-pane windows are the Western standard for home insulation, and they do improve on single-pane glass. But Japan developed a different and more effective solution for homes that need better thermal and acoustic performance from existing windows. An inner window is a second complete window unit installed inside the existing frame, creating a large sealed air gap between the two layers of glass. The gap is significantly wider than the space between panes in a standard double-glazed unit, which makes it far more effective as both a thermal and sound barrier. Brands including YKKAP and Leixel manufacture these specifically for the Japanese residential market, and the Japanese government has heavily subsidized their installation as part of national energy efficiency programs. The result is a window that insulates and blocks noise at a level that standard double glazing doesn't match, achieved without replacing the original window at all. Japan made this solution widely accessible before most countries made it available. Number 13. Multi-function bathroom fans. A Western bathroom extraction fan does one thing. It pulls damp air out of the room while you're in it and stops when you switch it off. That's the full extent of its contribution to the bathroom. Japanese bathroom ventilation units do considerably more from the same ceiling fixture. They extract, they heat the room before you step in, and after you're done, they circulate warm air to dry the bathroom surface and any laundry hanging inside. Some models include a cool air mode for summer and a drying cycle designed to remove moisture from hanging clothes overnight. Japanese bathrooms become a functional drying room with a single product that was going in the ceiling anyway. Western bathrooms are left damp after every shower, mold develops in corners that never fully dry, and laundry has nowhere practical to hang in poor weather. Japan turned the bathroom fan into a complete climate management tool for the room. The rest of the world is still using it to clear steam. Number 14. Motorized storm shutter systems. External shutters fitted over windows and doors are standard in Japanese homes, and in many modern builds they're motorized. You press a button or set a timer, and the shutters close over every window simultaneously from inside. During a typhoon, they provide a physical barrier between the window glass and wind-driven rain, debris, and pressure that glass alone isn't designed to handle. When you leave the home for an extended period, they add a security layer that no window lock can match. At night, they block all external light completely, creating a level of darkness that curtains and blinds can't achieve. Enclosed over single-pane windows, they provide a measurable improvement in overnight insulation. Western homes in storm-prone areas typically have no equivalent built-in protection. Storm shutters, where they exist, are manually operated and retrofitted rather than built into the home's design from the start. Japan built the protection into the home. The West largely left it out. Number 15. Zero Energy Home Standard. A zero-energy home produces as much energy as it consumes over the course of a year, combining high-performance insulation, solar panels, and battery storage into a home that runs largely on what it generates itself. Japan's national ZEH standard, promoted by the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, has been actively pursued by major Japanese home builders since the 2010s. Sekisui House, Daiwa House, and Panasonic Homes have all been constructing ZEH-certified homes as part of their standard residential offering. Japan has set a government target for ZEH to become the standard for all new residential builds by 2030. Western countries have net zero ambitions, but the gap between policy targets and homes actually being built to that standard remains wide. Japan is building those homes now at scale through its largest residential construction companies and treating energy self-sufficiency not as a premium option, but as the direction the entire industry is moving toward. Number 16. Shoji screen windows. Western windows create a daily choice. Curtains or blinds closed means privacy but no natural light. Open means light but no privacy. You pick one and live with the trade-off, or you layer both and manage them throughout the day. Japanese shoji screens resolve that choice entirely. A latticed frame with translucent panels allows natural light to filter softly through the screen, while making it impossible to see in from the outside. You get a room filled with diffused, gentle light and complete privacy at the same time. Modern versions use synthetic materials in place of traditional washi paper, making them durable enough for daily use without the delicacy of the original. The quality of light in a room fitted with shoji screens is genuinely different from one with curtains or blinds. It's softer, more evenly distributed, and more comfortable to spend time in. It's a window treatment that solved the light versus privacy problem centuries ago and still hasn't been bettered. Number 17. Built-in entrance shoe cabinets. In most Western homes, shoes accumulate beside the front door in whatever arrangement they land in when taken off. A pile of footwear that everyone steps over, trips on, and eventually relocates to a different pile slightly further inside. There's rarely a designated space for them, and rarely a system that keeps them organized. Japanese homes build a dedicated shoe cabinet directly into the genkan entrance wall. Shelves sized for footwear hold multiple pairs per household member. A pull-out step makes access easier, and a door closes everything out of sight. The entrance stays clear, organized, and clean. It's part of the architectural plan rather than furniture added afterward, which means it fits the space properly and uses the wall depth that's already there. Shoes are stored. The entrance is tidy. Outdoor footwear never gets past the cabinet. It's a built-in solution to a problem most Western homes solve, with a pile on the floor and hope for the best. Number 18. Laundry-ready balconies. Western balconies are designed as outdoor extensions of the living space. A place to sit, have a coffee, keep a plant. Laundry drying on a Western balcony is generally an afterthought, often prohibited by building rules, and the space itself was never designed with it in mind. Japanese home balconies treat laundry drying as a primary function from the design stage. Railing heights are set with hanging laundry in mind. Built-in drying poles or wall-mounted brackets are included as part of the balcony structure. Orientation is considered for maximum sun exposure during drying hours. The balcony becomes a genuinely functional part of the laundry process, rather than a space where people awkwardly drape clothes over a railing built for leaning on. In a country where tumble dryer ownership is far lower than in the West, outdoor drying is a daily routine and the home is designed to support it properly. Japan built the infrastructure for that routine into the balcony itself. Number 19. Floor-to-ceiling built-in storage. Look at the walls in most Western rooms and storage stops at around shoulder height. Wardrobes, shelving units, and kitchen cupboards leave the upper section of almost every wall completely unused. The space between the top of the furniture and the ceiling, sometimes 30 or 40 centimeters, sometimes considerably more, is just dead space collecting dust. Japanese homes treat the full vertical height of a room as usable storage from floor to ceiling. Built-in storage walls run from the floor surface to the ceiling with no gap, using every centimeter of available height. The result is a significantly larger storage volume from exactly the same wall footprint. In homes where floor space is limited and every square meter counts, using the full height of the room rather than a fraction of it is the difference between a home that works and one that doesn't. Japan just decided that stopping halfway up the wall and leaving the rest empty wasn't good enough. Number 20. The transitional veranda. Western homes move directly from interior to exterior. You open a door and you're outside. There's no in-between, no buffer, no space that is both and neither simultaneously. Traditional Japanese homes include a narrow wooden veranda that runs along the edge of the home between the interior sliding doors and the garden. It's not quite inside and not quite outside. You can sit there close to the garden without being in it. It provides shade from summer sun while framing the outdoor view. In winter, it traps a layer of warmer air between the cold outside and the interior of the home. Modern Japanese homes still incorporate this transitional space in various forms, understanding that the relationship between inside and outside living benefits from something more gradual than a door. It's a way of connecting the home to its surroundings that Western architecture replaced with a step and a doormat, and it's one of those ideas that's immediately obvious once you've experienced it. Number 21. Home loft storage spaces. The space above the main living area of a room is almost universally wasted in Western home design. The ceiling is where the room ends. Everything between that ceiling and the roof structure, sometimes a meter or more of usable volume, sits empty and inaccessible. Japanese apartments and smaller homes frequently include a mezzanine-style loft space accessed by a fixed ladder positioned above the main room and using the ceiling height that would otherwise be dead space. It functions as a sleeping area, a storage space, or both. The footprint of the room doesn't change. The floor area stays exactly the same, but the usable volume of the home increases significantly simply by treating the vertical space above eye level as something worth using. In dense urban areas where floor space is limited and every square meter carries a cost, the loft converts wasted cubic space into something practical. It's vertical thinking applied to a problem that Western homes have traditionally solved by building bigger, which is a considerably more expensive answer to the same question. Number 22. Courtyard garden design. In dense urban environments, Western homes typically sacrifice any connection to nature entirely. The garden disappears, there's no outdoor space, and the home becomes a sealed interior with no view of anything green unless you count a houseplant on the windowsill. Japanese homes in dense urban areas incorporate a small enclosed courtyard garden into the architectural plan of the home itself. Even a few square meters of outdoor space, surrounded by the walls of the home and open to the sky above, brings natural light, greenery, and visual depth into rooms that would otherwise face directly onto a wall or a neighboring building. It's designed as part of the home from the beginning, rather than added afterward, which means it integrates properly with the surrounding rooms and serves them deliberately. The result is a home that maintains a connection to the outside, regardless of how densely built the surrounding area is. Western homes in equivalent locations gave up on that connection. Japan built it into the floor plan. Number 23. Deep eave design. The eaves of a Western home are typically shallow or decorative. They keep rain off the wall directly below the roofline, and that's about the extent of their contribution to how the home performs. Japanese homes are designed with deep overhanging eaves calculated specifically for the sun's angle at Japan's latitude. In summer, when the sun sits high in the sky, the overhang projects far enough to block direct sunlight from reaching the windows below. Rooms stay cooler without air conditioning working as hard. In winter, when the sun drops lower on the horizon, the angle changes enough that sunlight passes beneath the eaves and enters the windows directly, providing passive solar warmth to the interior at exactly the time of year it's most useful. No mechanical system, no controls, no running costs. The eave depth does the work passively based on the predictable geometry of the sun's position throughout the year. Western homes left this entirely free source of seasonal climate control off the drawing board. Japan kept it in. Number 24. Modular system kitchens. Western kitchens are typically assembled on site from separate components by tradespeople working to individual measurements. Cabinets from one supplier, worktops cut to fit, appliances integrated as best they can be, and everything sealed and finished by hand. The result is a kitchen that works but carries the tolerances and inconsistencies of on-site construction. Japanese kitchens are installed as fully integrated modular system units manufactured to precise dimensions by specialists, including Panasonic, Takara Standard, and Cleanup. Every cabinet, drawer, worktop section, and appliance connection is designed as part of the same unified system, built under controlled factory conditions, and assembled on-site as a complete installation. Joints align properly, drawers run smoothly, appliances integrate cleanly because they were designed to work together from the beginning, rather than fitted around each other afterward. Japan applied manufacturing standards to kitchen installation. The West is still largely treating it as a craft. Number 25. Prefabricated home construction. In most Western countries, prefab carries a specific reputation. Quick to build, cheap to produce, and noticeably lower in quality than a conventionally constructed home. It's an option for those who can't afford to build properly, or so the assumption goes. Japan's prefabricated home industry runs on a completely different set of standards and produces a completely different result. Companies including Sisui House, Daiwa House, and Misawa Homes build homes in factory-controlled environments, where weather has no effect on construction. Material quality is monitored at every stage. Structural components are manufactured to tolerances that on-site construction can't consistently match, and build times are a fraction of conventional methods. The homes that come out of this process routinely outperform conventionally built homes on insulation, airtightness, precision, and long-term durability. Japan's prefab industry didn't cut corners to build faster. It applied industrial precision to home construction to build better. The Western assumption that prefab means lower quality isn't wrong everywhere. It's just wrong in Japan. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe. And make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more things Japanese homes do better than the West.